Hey guys, today we have a very exciting video lined up for you. Today, we're going to show you how to create and edit your first fully made Golpo AI video and get it ready for production through the Golpo AI platform. And before that, I want to give you guys some background on what exactly Golpo is. So put simply, Golpo is an AI video tool made for whiteboard explainer videos, exactly like this one. Other AI video tools like Veo and Sora are mainly used to create short cinematic clips. Golpo, on the other hand, can create full explainer videos up to 15 minutes and even more with audio, with a script, voice, drawing, animations, and very smooth timing. And unlike many AI videos, Golpo videos do not feel like a group of random clips because the visuals are connected and the scenes follow the script exactly, and the final video can look like it was made by a real human team and it took hours to make it. So now that we kind of gave you a background of Golpo AI is, let's move on and create our first video. So first things first, we want to go on the Golpo website and click Try Golpo. This takes us to the Golpo playground where we can begin creating a video. Now there are several ways to provide content to Golpo. You can enter a simple prompt and Golpo will research the topic, write the script, and generate the complete video for you. And you can just put the prompt in here. You can also select script mode and paste in your own finished script. In this mode, Golpo follows your script word for word, giving you complete control over exactly what is said in the video. Now you can also upload a MP3 file using ONarration and use it as the narration track. You can even upload a video of yourself speaking, and Golpo can incorporate that footage into the final video. For this example, we'll use script mode, which is by far our most popular input mode. But in the description box below, we'll have the tutorials for the different types of inputs as well. Now, I already have a script that explains investing through two children named John and Tom, and I'll ask Golpo to create a video using this exact script. So I'll just copy the script here, paste it in here, and it says there's 4 characters, so this is probably more than a 2-minute video. So let's just click 4. All right, and I can hover through the script here. And this next section is one of the most important parts of the video creation process because it determines how the visuals will be generated and presented on screen. Golpo currently offers 2 primary rendering models, Golpo Canvas and Golpo Sketch. Think of the rendering model as the underlying system Golpo uses to transform your narrations into animated video. Golpo Sketch is designed for more artistic, expressive, and illustration-driven videos. Its scenes often feel like complete drawings being created organically on the screen. So let's pull up an example here. So crayon.
When Julius Caesar was captured by pirates as a young man, they thought they had found an ordinary Roman noble.
You can kind of see how it's drawing it all at once, kind of more artistically, and it creates kind of like a more fluid and visually creative presentation. And Golpo Canvas, on the other hand, is more designed for precision, structure, and more technical content. So let's take this for example.
Let's talk about quantum computing from the ground up, in a way that actually makes sense when heard out loud. We already know how ordinary
See how it kind of first drew this quantum computing bit, then it talked about the computer, so it's doing it much more time aligned instead of drawing it all at once.
At the deepest level, everything runs on bits, and a bit can only ever be 0 or 1.
And then let's look at another example. Let's look at this Sharpie style.
When you watch the news, your TV is showing the final step of a long chain. It starts with capture. Cameras turn.
See, first it talked about the TV news chain and drew it out when it was saying it, and then about capture. While in Golpo Sketch, let's take this one for example.
The core rule is
it kind of draws everything all
simple.
At once.
1 minute of video.
And after choosing this rendering model, you can actually choose a specific visual style. So the rendering model, the Golpo Sketch or Golpo Canvas, determines how the information will be animated. And then the style determines the exact look. So you can see Golpo Canvas has so many different styles. So it has like a whiteboard style.
Golpo exists because
and it'll be rendered in the same way. While and it has this editorial style. And Golpo Sketch also has all of these different styles as well. So it has this crayon style.
When Julius Caesar,
this infographic style.
Most of what you think to put in a prompt.
So each of these different rendering models has many different styles. And I strongly encourage and recommend you guys to watch the sample videos for both Golpo Sketch and Golpo Canvas and experiment with several different styles. And the best choice will depend on your subject, your audience, and the type of viewing experience you want to create. But as a general rule of thumb for me, I use Golpo Canvas when doing educational content and Golpo Sketch when doing more artistic, expressive, and story-driven content. So in this case, I want to choose a Golpo Canvas. Just because of the fact that it's kind of talking about investing and it's kind of more on the technical end. And as the style, I want to use the Sharpie style because for me, my favorite is Sharpie style because if you guys know about the channel After School, I really love that channel and I think the Sharpie style really makes videos like that and it's so super engaging. So I'll choose the Sharpie style and you can choose this exact style here. So I'll choose Sharpie. All right, let's continue on. So this next section here, you can actually insert videos and images into the actual Golpo video. So it'll appear something like this. For a
Turning
video,
your personal photos into a begin by describe starts with.
Let's say you upload a screen recording. It'll appear kind of like this. And for this example, let's just have a random picture of the sun at the complete end. Just to show you how it looks like. So line 26, John and Tom are best friends, and then we'll add that. And let's just say this is the logo of our YouTube channel. So let's say this video is for our YouTube channel. So we can just say at the end, let this image happen, and this be the logo for it. And there are obviously better use cases for this insert image and insert video, but I just wanted to show you guys how it works for now. And then yeah, you can basically put it in any line here. So you can do a start here and then like an end wherever. So you have that optionality as well. And then we have voice instructions. And here you can basically determine the accent, some of the pronunciation of the text-to-speech model. So here, let's just do British accent. And then video instructions. So here you can basically determine a lot of things actually. So even within the style, you can basically determine the exact color scheme you want to use. You can have it be the same as your brand, for example, and many other things. And you can learn more about what all video instructions do here, but just by clicking this. But for now, we will just have it be rainbow colors as the color scheme. And now characters. So characters is another really big feature. So our story features two characters, Tom and John. We want their characters to be exactly precise. And for that, you can basically click this add character button. Let's say Tom is one of them. And appearance description, you don't really have to fill this out to be honest. But just say Tom is a young man. And then this is going to be a picture of Tom Holland actually. And you can actually save this for later. So for other videos, you can use the same character. And then you can do the same thing for John. Looks like John Cena actually. And yeah, it's going to be a picture of John Cena as well. And we can save this for later. And see, you can see now my characters, Tom and John. So for other videos, you can use these exact same characters. And then this color fill-in is also a pretty big one. So basically here, sometimes the videos have a bit of color that is not like completely filled in. So for
when
this
you
example,
watch the news,
so you see here some of the color isn't filled in. Somewhere here the color isn't filled in. Let's say for this one here, some of the color isn't filled in. And basically what this color fill in option does is it basically at the end, it makes sure that all the colors are filled in. So if you want that, if you want more precision like that, you can choose the color fill-in option. And then here, music, we have a whole host of music options. Plus, you can upload your own custom music. But I personally just go for none. And duration. So you saw earlier how we kind of ran out of characters here and then we needed to extend it. So each of these timestamps have a specific set of characters that it will allow for script mode. And for us, 4 minutes is perfect. And for prompt mode, you can also choose any one of these times and it will create the script that is that much characters that will cover that much time. And then you have a whole host of voices, from female voices to male voices to even a voice clone, which is really powerful. So here's some of the previews. And then for voice cloning, all you need to do is you need to click here. You can upload an MP3 file of yourself, give yourself a name, choose the language, and then, do it from there. And I personally want to I want to not do Shaman's voice and just do a normal male voice because I want to localize these in multiple languages. So I want to create this video in English, Hindi, and then Bengali. And then the style is going to be Sharpie style. And then if you have a logo, you can add it here. Let's add the logo. Let's say this is the logo of our channel. We can add it here and the logo will appear on the top left. And then shared language is going to be, so here, this basically shows what language the visuals will be. So even if it's like, even if we have all these different languages we are localizing it to, you can either have the, for primary display languages, the visuals to be the same one, or you can have different visuals and translated audio. So it's going to create different visuals and then different audio as well. But for our sake, let's just go for the same visuals. So English is the common language among everyone. So when we preview this video, if it's in English, it'll be in the best interest of everyone in order for the explanation. And then pacing. So pacing, you can either do a normal pacing or fast pacing. You can preview how a normal and a fast looks like. This is more applicable for Sketch, so it's not even that applicable for Canvas, so just ignore this. And then pen and hand animation. So here, you could actually have like a hand basically drawing it. So, for example, like this.
The best way to ace.
So you have a hand drawing it instead of here.
Golpo exists because making videos is painfully slow and.
So basically, let's just go for a marker pen and hand animation. And then we can click generate video. And then let's just do yes, and then yeah. Once the video creates, you get an email from Golpo AI. And then all you need to do is click view in your library. So click that here. So it's still generating the Bengali and Hindi version. So it took around 5 minutes to generate the English version. So let's take a look and I will kind of walk you through this video and show how, as a result of what we kind of chose as inputs, the different models we chose, it kind of looks like this. So let's see it.
Tom had been best.
So you can immediately hear the British accent here. So for Hindi and Bengali, the accent probably won't be there, but for English, you can hear the British accent right off the bat.
Friends in school, but they
So you can see the color fill in too. It filled in the rest of that.
handled money very differently. John loved excitement. Whenever he heard that a stock was about to explode,
You can see here it's John Cena getting kind
he
of freaked
invested
out.
immediately. He followed social
Also, you can see that pen and hand animation here as well.
media tips, checked prices every few minutes, and often sold in panic when the market fell. Tom took a slower approach. Before
You can see that Tom Holland.
investing, he studied the company, its business, its profits, and its risks. He also kept an emergency fund and invested only money he would not need for several years.
All right, here you can also see the logo.
One afternoon, John called Tom excitedly. "Everyone online is buying rocket tech," John said. "They say its price will double next month." "Do you know what the company does?" Tom asked. "Not really," John admitted, "but the chart is going up." John invested almost all his savings in Rocket Tech. Tom decided not to invest because he could not understand how the company made money.
And even though this is the Golpo canvas style, you can still see how engaging it is and how it is kind of still also storytelling. So on top of the rendering model, I think the style is also super important when choosing what type of model you want to make the video with.
Instead, he divided his savings among a broad index fund.
And you can see how through Golpo Canvas, it's much more time aligned. So instead of drawing everything at once here, it's drawing Tom Holland first and then this pie chart.
A few reliable companies and government bonds. For several weeks, Rocket Tech continued rising. John proudly showed Tom how much money he had made. "You're too cautious," John laughed. "At this rate, I'll retire before you." Then the company released its financial results. Rocket Tech had large debts, declining sales, and no clear path to profitability. The stock price collapsed. John panicked and sold everything at a major loss. "I thought investing was supposed to make me rich," he said sadly. Investing can build wealth, but it is not the same as gambling. A rising price does not always mean a good investment. Tom helped John create a better plan. First, John rebuilt his emergency savings. Then he began investing a fixed amount every month into diversified, low-cost funds. He stopped chasing rumors and accepted that markets would sometimes rise and sometimes fall. Years passed. There were exciting months, frightening crashes, and long periods when almost nothing seemed to happen. John and Tom continued investing steadily. One day, John looked at his account and smiled. His money had grown far more than he expected, not because he had discovered a secret stock, but because he had remained patient and consistent. "I finally understand," John told Tom. "Good investing is not about getting rich quickly." Tom nodded. "It is about making sensible decisions repeatedly and giving them time to work." From that day forward, John never asked, "Which investment will double next month?" Instead, he asked, "Will this decision still make sense 10 years from now?" And that question changed his financial future.
And you can see at the complete end, this asset pops up. So if we put this image as the asset, so it pops up at the end, but it'll pop up wherever you want it to. And then you can also attach, on top of images, you can attach videos as well. So if you want to download the video, you just have to click this download option here and then click download video, or you can just download it from here as well. So now the Bengali and Hindi versions are also made. So let's take a look at those real quick.
স্কুল জীবন থেকেই জন আর টম ছিল সবচেয়ে ভালো বন্ধু, কিন্তু টাকার বিষয়ে তাদের ব্যবহার ছিল একেবারেই আলাদা। জন রোমাঞ্চ খুব ভালোবাসতো, যখনই সে শুনতো।
So you can see here we had the display language is English. That's why the display is still showing up as English. But now if you wanted to have the display language be the language that's being spoken, we can do that too, and then the visuals would appear in Bengali or Hindi.
জন আর টম
But now that we kind of understand how we make our first video, let's understand how the editing process works. So all you have to do is click that edit button there, and then you get presented with this screen. So there's usually a couple of things you want to do when editing a video. So the first thing you really want to do is you want to make sure that there are no overlaps within components. So sometimes what can be the case is that there are some overlaps that are present within the components. So in this case, you see there's a slight overlap. And if this overlap is too significant, it might animate some of this part at the first go. So you want to make sure that there's no overlap. And then the way you do that is you just you just click on the component and then drag it in a way that it just doesn't overlap. So like that. So that's one of the main things you want to do with overlapping. And then the other thing you want to do is you want to maybe change some of the components. So for example, here, let's say instead of a pie chart, let's make this like a graph. Let's make this a like a bar chart or something. So all you need to do to do that is let's make this a bar chart. Then you have to click apply changes. Boom, it made this into a bar chart. And now you can actually convert this to video mode to see exactly how it looks like. But pretty much for any component, you can basically click on it and then change it just using natural language.
Tom decided not to invest because he could not understand how the company made money. Instead, he divided his savings among a broad index fund, a few reliable companies, and government bonds. Tom decided not to invest.
And yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, that's great. Now let's see what other things we can do. So for example, let's say we want this component to be drawn quicker. So you can just kind of drag it here, and then it will spend more time, less time with this and more time with that. So let's see how that looks like.
Tom decided not to invest because he could not understand how the company made money.
So you can see right after the understand, it goes to this component here. So another thing you can do is actually change the animation type here. So let's take this component for example. So it looks like this here. The current sketch.
Investing
looks like
is not about getting rich quickly. From that day forward, John never asked which investment will double next month. Instead, he asked,
like this
will this decision...
But let's have this be sketched left to right instead. I think that'd make more sense here. So if you do that and then you click video mode, you can kind of see how the new animation type for that component will look like.
John and Tom had been best friends since school, but they handled money very differently. John loved excitement.
Once you finalize it, you can go back in here and you can always revert back to the previous version as well, because all the versions are stored like this. But
John and
now all of our edits will be saved. So let's see.
He would
our first edit was the bar chart. So
not understand his savings among.
So as the bar chart
a
here.
John laughed. Rich, he said sadly.
And then
from that day forward, John never asked which investment will double next month. Instead, he asked, will this...
So that's kind of how the editing works.